Howdy, hi. It is Drop Sports WNBA Picks and Predictions for Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. We're looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, first things first, got to recap previous day's results. I go 2-4, which is not good, but it was a lot better than the 0-5 we went yesterday. We added someone to the list. Not only do we have the entire Seattle Storm team on the ban list, I included their coach as well. No Quinn. We'll get to what the Storm did at the end of the game. But the fact that you had a 14-point halftime lead and you lose the game by 6 points at home, it's honestly impressive how bad you are at coaching. I'm going to recap these games, then we'll get on to the two player props got for tomorrow. First game that we won, actually, we had Lynx, minus 16.5. They get it done at home against Dallas. 96-71 was the final score. It was a little bit close in the beginning of the game. They only had, I think it was a 7-point halftime lead. Then they opened up the floodgates in the final quarter, winning the fourth quarter 25-12. Wings didn't even play that bad. They just couldn't shoot the ball. They won the rebound battle by 4. They won the turnover battle by 1. That means nothing, though, when you shoot 39% from the field and 20% from deep. Minnesota Lynx did not have Kayla McBride. She missed due to rest. I don't know why you need rest, but okay, whatever. You had Natisha Heidemann off the bench, drop 20. Courtney Williams, 15, 3, and 9. Nafisa Collier, 25, 3, and 1. On the win side of things, you saw Paige, 17. Maddie Seegers with 12. And that was about it. We do have to discuss Grace Berger. I mentioned this to my Discord. Grace Berger is shooting 5% from deep. No exaggeration in that. 5%. She is 1 of 19 from deep this year. She is shooting 28% from the field. 28%. You can shoot it from wherever you want, and that is her percentage. How is she in the WNBA? She is starting for the Wings right now. With all the injuries they have, she is their starting point guard. How? Next winner, it was the over 173.5 in the Sparks and the Storm game. Final score here, Sparks 91, Storm 85. I have no words. We're just going to let that sit there for a minute, and I will complain about the Storm in a few. Next loser, Sun plus 10.5, under 159.5. The under never stood a chance. Both teams were hooping in the first half. What if I told you that the Connecticut Sun had a 6-point halftime lead? You'd be like, oh, surely they covered 10.5 points at home. What if I told you the Connecticut Sun were only down by 1 point going into the fourth quarter, and then they lose the fourth quarter 26-10? They go 2 of 17 from deep. That is 12% from deep. Free throws, Atlanta Dream, 24. Free throws for the Sun, 14. The Sun lose the rebound battle, lose the turnover battle. They lose the game by 17 points. Culprits. Culprit number 1, Marina Mabry, 1 of 7 from deep. Culprit number 2, Anissa Morrow, 0 of 4 from deep. The only person who actually played well was Tina Charles, who dropped 22. Also, Layla Lacan, she actually played well. 17 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 of 9 from the field. You played well, but you can't have a 6-point halftime lead and lose the final quarter by 16 to absolutely blow the cover. Good God. Next game, we had the Wings over 168.5. We didn't miss by much as they scored 167. Maybe next time the Wings could not shoot 20% from deep, or how about 70% from the free throw line? Can I interest you in 39% from the field at all? Once again, I will bring up Grace Berger, 1 of 5 from the field, 30 minutes played, 2 turnovers. She had the same number of turnovers as points. Horrible. Then we get to the real complaining. Seattle Storm, minus 6.5. They had a 14-point halftime lead. 14. Their largest lead of the game was 17. They lose the third quarter 29-20. They lose the fourth quarter 23-12. The Los Angeles Sparks end this game on a 15-2 run. Noelle Quinn, how many timeouts do you think she called in the final 5 minutes of the game? The answer is 0 until she used a timeout with 30 seconds left when her team was down 4 points. At no point in the 15-2 run did she call a timeout. Not a single one of them. How are you a coach in the WNBA if you let the opposing team go on a 15-2 run and then you just sit there on the bench and you take it at how it is? What in the fuck are you doing? You're now 22-20. This was the team you had to beat to all but solidify your playoff chances. The Seattle Storm's upcoming schedule. They go... Oh, they only have 2 games left. Holy shit. Why have they played so many more games than everyone else? All right, their last 2 games. Versus the Liberty, 100% losable. Versus the Valkyries, also very losable. The Sparks. The Sparks have 5 games left. What is this WNBA scheduling? How does one team have 2 games left, but the Sparks have 5? What in the fuck is this? The Sparks still have to play at the Dream, versus the Wings, at the Mercury, versus the Aces. Who creates this shit? Good God. All right, that's the recap. Let's get on to tomorrow. Game 1, Mercury -5. I'm also going to rock the over 165. This should be a relatively solid game. Yes, the Fever are still banged up, but they haven't been playing too horrible recently, so I think this is relatively good. Mercury, they need to win. They still need the number 2 seed overall. Fever, 21-19 on the year. This is their final game of a 3-game road trip. They did just lose to the Valkyrie by 12 on the road. They shot 33% from the field. I backed them that game. It was not fun. I don't trust anybody on this team. I typed out that I trust Kelsey Mitchell. I don't. I've backed her like 4 times this year. She drops like 12 points when I actually put money behind her, so there's about that. I don't like Steph White as a coach. The only person I really like on this team is Natasha Howard. I think she's good. They just don't get her the ball enough. Defensively, they're somewhat pesty. Lexi Hall is good, but she's banged up. I don't think Aaliyah Boston's good in the paint. Natasha Howard's a solid defender. Kelsey Mitchell, no. You just never know what you're going to get from this Fever team. One night, they look good. The next night, they look like shit. Mercury, 25-14 on the year. They've won 4 games in a row. Most recently, they beat the Liberty at home by 17 points. Injury report, it is clean. There's going to be some bad blood here. These teams have played twice this year. They've split the series 1-1. Duana Bonner, I think this is her second time playing against her old team. First time in Phoenix, though. She does not like them. Now, granted, this is somewhat of a different team than she was there with. Have they signed so many different people because everyone's gotten hurt? Last time these 2 teams played in Phoenix, the Mercury won by 35 points. I think we see that again. Next game, Liberty on the road at the Valkyries. I'm going to rock the Liberty -6. I'm going to take the over, 154.5. These are probably the 2 teams in the WNBA that I like backing the least. I don't know if I've ever backed the Valkyries. No, I have. I've backed the Valkyries like 2 or 3 times this year. They always screw me. This is the Liberty's second final game in their road trip. They still need to win, though, if they're trying to get that second overall seed. So we'll see what happens here. Liberty, 24-16 on the year. They just got molly-whopped on the road by the Mercury. Injury news, pretty important. You have Sabrina Ionescu and Naira Sabali, both ruled questionable for this game. Biggest concern for them, 2 things. 1, they don't know how to rebound a basketball. I still don't understand how. You have John Quell, you have Stewie, you have Emma Meesman. How can none of you grab a rebound? Secondly, perimeter shooting. Without Sabrina, the number of field goal attempts from deep will go down. But the problem is they just don't have anyone who can make them. Their best 3-point shooter statistically is Emma Meesman. but she doesn't really have the numbers to back it up because she's only been with the team for about a month. The next highest is Jonquel Jones. She's shooting at 41% from deep, but they never give her the ball in transition because she's just down low in the paint. So I'm hoping with no Sabrina on the court, Jonquel gets to move more. She can start down low in the paint, then swing out to the corner, shoot that three ball. She shoots the highest on the team behind Mies. So if she can get the open shots, I think she can knock them down. All right, you guys already know the thoughts on the Valkyries. For me, bane of my existence. Every single time I bet against this team, they screw me. I don't know what to do. Injury report still looks pretty rough. Monique Billings, no. Kayla Thornton, no. Tiffany Zandalicini, probably still not going to play. Valkyries are basically a lock for the playoffs at this point. So there's no real reason to rush them back. You're not going to get a higher seed anyway. You're going to be right around that 5th, 6th, 7th seed. They did just hold the Fever to 63 points at home. I think the Liberty are a bit different than the Fever, though. They should be able to get a minimum like 75 to 80 points. They probably have the coaching advantage. I don't like Sandy. Yes, she has multiple championships in the WNBA. Do I think that makes her a good coach? No. I will fade the Valkyries. They will probably win this game outright, though, and I will be pissed. All right, now we got 2 player props. After my hiatus, I feel rejuvenated for the player props. We're going to take 2 bigs down low. Give me Satu Sabali, PR over 19.5. Mercury, they're at home against a Fever team that's banged up. Last leg of a road trip, I think they're going to be tired and not really wanting to play basketball. Sabali's been struggling recently. She's only hit this number in 2 out of her last 6 games, but the last time she played the Indiana Fever, she dropped 23 PR, and that was just on 5 of 11 from the field. I like her in what should be a get-right spot. Burnt out Fever team. 19.5 is too low of a number. The next, Jonquel Jones, give me your PRA over 25.5. Massive size advantage against a Valkyries team who is just smaller. Please, for the love of God, utilize the size down low. Sabrina, questionable. I hope she does not play for our points PRA prop on Jonquel's sake. Stewie's going to have to bring the ball up the court. It's either going to be her, Natasha Cloud, or Johannes off the bench. That's going to mean Jonquel is going to be down low, kicking out to the corners. This should be the wide open 3-pointer tops. She shoots second on the team, behind Mieseman. Mieseman comes off the bench now, although with Sabrina, now Mies would still come off the bench if Sabrina's not playing. Jonquel's hit this number 3 out of her last 5 games. 25.5 is too low, especially if Sabrina's not playing. Give me the over. All right, that's going to do it for me in this video. I really hope we have a positive day, or else we're going to see our season-long record go negative in the W, and it is just not fun to do that. All right, thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.